I have been using witchcraft to boost my salon business. So, as passerbys would walk, smoke went out, immediately someone else inhaled it, they would come to my store. If I tell you that this was working like a miracle, it really was.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all paid. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just.
Hey guys, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny and I hope you're ready for another great story. In my opinion, it will be at the end of the video. Please leave your comment in the comment section. You know I will be replying to all of them because I love talking to you guys. But anyways, let's
using witchcraft to boost my saloon business. Story time. When I graduated uni, I decided to start a saloon business because finding a job was so hard, especially with this economy nowadays. The best thing that I could do was start a business for myself. And the hair business was the best at the time because I already had the skill. All I needed was a place to function. Luckily, by the time I was leaving school, I had kept some money that was being given to us as a stipend for being on a scholarship, and that's what I used to start this business. I was always very industrious. Even in school, I would plait some girls' hair, and I knew that life was hard outside school, so I definitely needed something to do. I saw different girls have the alternative of sugar daddies to sponsor their businesses, to just do different things for them. Others were even staying home full-time but living a life that was very high-end. But with my background, that was not even part of the plan. All I knew is that as a female, you should work hard enough for your own money. So starting a salon was definitely a very good idea, and I was proud of myself. I started a salon and it was located in one of the popular areas where saloons are usually located within my city. For identity purposes, I will not tell you the exact place. The biggest hint, however, is that this place has multiple saloons and saloon businesses typically thrive in this area. So it made sense that even if I was starting a small shop, it had to be in a place where people already know that saloons are found, so that at least my business could stand a chance of success. Since I couldn't compete with the bigger businesses that had been in business for a while as compared to me who was a newbie, I decided to take social media marketing extremely seriously, with the hopes that it would bring me some clients. But unfortunately, my pages on all platforms were extremely small. I'm talking about 200 followers or less. They were growing really slowly. I would post, but it didn't bring me much, and I needed money to be able to pay influencers to work with me in the hopes that they would bring me clients. However, these quotations were extremely out of my budget. Unfortunately, all these efforts didn't bring me much. I was still not getting views, I still didn't get clients, and my business was slowly getting frustrated. When I started, I only had enough money to pay rentals for 3 months. That was the only operating capital that I had. So I had to make a plan before the 3 months was up, otherwise I had to close. However, in the same period, I saw my friends start up businesses, saloons, makeup studios, bridal studios, all these businesses that women typically do, boutiques. Theirs were thriving, and even my neighbor just next door, her business was thriving. She was getting so many clients. I wasn't getting not even one client a day. On the days that I got a client, it was either my neighbor's salon was too full for them to accommodate that client, so she would bring the client to me. Otherwise, my clients were either friends, cousins, sisters, nothing more than that. But I'm sure we all know that regardless of how bad your situation is, your landlord will not understand that business is slow at that point. They will need their money regardless. But time was ticking and my 3 months was slowly coming to an end. So what I decided to start doing is start to pay for Facebook ads and Instagram ads every time I would capture a client, sibling, whatever, or whoever I would manage to get my hands on. I would post it, boost it for a day or two according to what I could afford, and that started slowly getting me clients. However, pay attention to the term slowly because this was extremely slow. I'm talking about maybe one client per post. But you know how they say never despise humble beginnings? I was still happy that at least I was getting a client or two. 3 months later, it was finally time to pay my rentals, and unfortunately, the money I had was not even enough to cover it. Bear in mind that I also didn't have any workers at this point. I was working all by myself. I didn't need the workers for what? D-Day came and my landlord was asking for what was due to him. I requested that he gives me a week because I didn't have that money. In that week, the game plan wasn't that I would have more clients. My plan was that hopefully I could find a loan from a friend, family, just someone to give me the money that I needed so that my business could continue with operation. But all those within my circle definitely knew I was struggling, so this amount of money was not even something they were willing to give me. On a Friday, I still didn't have my landlord's money, and I knew that he was going to come get it on a Monday because that was going to be officially 1 week from the time that I asked him for more grace. So as I was walking home, I saw a poster and it was claiming that this person or whoever was advertising would help you get clients for your business, gain back lost money, win back lost lovers. I thought it was a scam or just some joke, so I decided to try it out just for fun. But if I'm being honest with myself, it wasn't just for fun, I was genuinely desperate. So I called this number, a man picked up and he told me that he had availability for the next day, that he does not discuss business over the phone, he prefers that we meet. So he gave me a location, again I will not disclose it, where we could meet and I would discuss my issues. The next morning, I made sure that I got up really early in the morning to meet this man and hopefully solve my problem that was following me just the next Monday. He told me what I should do in order to get this client. Of course, I had to pay him something. Honestly, the conditions were not as crazy as I thought. For me, witchcraft or whatever I was about to do, juju or whatever you choose to call it, I thought I would need to sacrifice my mother, father, or just someone really significant in my life. But the terms of whatever I was about to do were extremely different, so I was willing to bear it. Before I get to the terms, he told me on Sunday, which was the next day, that I should go to work, and that day alone, he promised that I would be able to raise the amount of money that I needed to pay my rent. This deal was so good for me that this man told me I could finish up the payment that I owed him once we proved that this was working, which was supposed to happen the next day. If for sure I was going to be able to raise that rent money, then what this man was about to do for me was actually real. But guess what? On Sunday, the next day, definitely I had so many clients and I was able to find all the rent money that I was missing. I couldn't contain the amount of happiness that I had. I didn't even have to wait for Monday. On the same Sunday, by the time that I was closing, I sent my landlord the amount of money that I owed him, even extra, because this time I wanted to continue with the 3 months that I had initially paid for. So I wanted it to be in such a way that I would pay my renters 3 months in advance, so that the next 3 months would just be me raising money for profits. I paid and my landlord was very happy. Him evicting me was even no longer part of the conversation, and I finally continued on with my business. So now let's get into the conditions. The conditions of whatever I had done with that witch doctor were that immediately that a client walks into my store, all I had to do is manage to grab some hair from them. The amount of hair had to be more significant than just a strand. Like, it had to be the amount of hair that would fall out on the comb is what I would use. So with that hair, all I had to do was burn it as though I was burning essence. I think that's what it's called. So basically, as I was burning that essence or whatever you would pronounce it as, I was getting more clients. As that client was sitting down on my chair, their hair would call me more clients. So that meant that for the neighboring businesses, if the client was supposed to go to their shop, immediately they see mine and the smoke was coming out of the room, because as I was burning this hair, it would release some smoke. Nothing too significant to worry my clients. Fortunately, as the smoke went out, immediately someone else inhaled it, they would come to my store. If I tell you that this was working like a miracle, it really was. In a month, my business blew. It became so big. I managed to renovate my salon. I finally had more workers. Everything in my salon became so pretty. I managed to make it aesthetically pleasing. Everything was just going so well. And remember, with more clients, I was able to capture more content for my social media. More content meant that I could now finally attract. I have been using witchcraft to boost my salon business. So as passerbys would walk by and smell the smoke, they would end up being riveted to my salon, meaning more money, more ads, just more of everything. And life became really good. So the agreement with that man who helped me with whatever he did for my business told me that the more money I made, I had to put him on what seemed like a monthly salary, for lack of a better term. So with each money that I made, I would send him some. I owned up to my promise because I didn't want my business to go down like it did. So he told me that if for whatever reason I stopped abiding by whatever he told me, my business would close on a Monday, just like it was supposed to close when I wasn't able to pay my rentals. So for instance, if on Thursday today I stopped burning the essence, or I stopped burning my client's hair on that essence thing, then on the next Monday after that Thursday, then my business would close down indefinitely. After tasting that much success, the worst would be to go back to square one, so I followed these rules religiously. This was working and going so well until other areas of my life really started struggling. Firstly, from this money, the most significant and sensible thing I ever did was renovate my salon. Aside that, this money never did anything for me. I would have the money, but I would never make any proper purchases like investing, buying some land, a car, nothing. The best that I could do if I needed a vehicle was hiring one. Somehow my mind would never lead me to buying. And even if people encouraged me to buy something sensible, I just never considered it to that extent. And unfortunately, this was the case for many other areas of my life. My mother even got to a point where she started complaining how my business was useless if it was not doing anything for me. She would tell me how business was seasonal and I needed to do the most while it was working for me, but somehow I could just never get myself to do anything sensible. These things really started to get to me when people within the place where I was running my business also started to notice that my money was quite useless. Regardless of what I did, all I would do was play with my money, buy expensive things, go to expensive hotels, just do different things, go for vacations that were necessary, a lot of things, but nothing sensible. And people really started to mock me. And this really started to get to me until I thought to say, wait, could it be possible that one of the conditions of that man that he actually didn't mention was the fact that this money will never do anything for me? I started to have those questions, but I just didn't have the courage to confront him because I was scared of the fact that what if I upset him and he ends up doing something to me? Because clearly I could see how powerful he was just from what he had done for my business. I also forgot to mention that those conditions, attached to them was the fact that what would happen to my clients is if you come to my shop and your hair is one of the hair that's burnt to call other clients, unfortunately your life would slowly start to go down. If you were pregnant, you would have a miscarriage. If you were going for a job interview, you wouldn't get the job. If you are at a job, maybe you would lose it or get demoted to a lower position. Just something negative would happen to you. Unfortunately, I was so selfish despite knowing this fact because I thought, you know what, if my family is not affected, I can't worry less. Also, if you're wondering how my clients would continue coming back to me even after their lives stopped working out, I didn't need retaining customers because any new person who inhaled that smoke would come to me. So whether I had retaining clients or not, that wasn't affecting my business. For timeline purposes, this went on for more than 2 years. Until one day, I started to fall ill and I just didn't understand what was happening. I did everything I could, went to hospitals, paid expensive doctors, paid expensive hospitals, and everywhere I went, it's as if there was nothing really wrong with me. The main signs were just general body weakness. I would have chills, not a specific illness, but I would really feel weak most of the time. And being the head hairdresser in my salon, this really started to affect me because now I was scared that I was paying that man, bending people's hair in my salon, all for nothing to get sick in the end, and then who will continue my salon? So I decided to go back to that man because everything was pointing back to him. And when I got back to him, he told me there's nothing he can do unless I was willing to renegotiate new terms because I couldn't keep enjoying big things on small sacrifices. I guess this is the part where they say not all that glitters is gold. His new terms were that we couldn't continue just burning hair. Unfortunately, people's lives would get involved. I know I was desperate for success, but I never thought it would go to those limits. I had no option but to decline his offer. And just like he said, the day that I refused to continue doing whatever he wanted me to do, the following Monday, my business definitely shut down. How it shut down was quite weird because that day, immediately I came from that man's shrine or office, I don't know what we would call it. My landlord called me and told me that he wanted to start operating in his shop, so I had to move to another place. At that point, I hadn't connected it yet to the conditions that that man had given me previously, so I didn't think my landlord telling me that was my business closing down indefinitely until on Monday when I reported for work, my landlord did come and he closed my shop. Despite having a contract where my landlord couldn't chase me or vacate me out of the shop without a 3 months prior notice, my landlord still kicked me out. I threatened to sue, he didn't care, he locked the shop, and that's how everything ended. Obviously, you're thinking, didn't you go ahead to look for a new shop? I did. Did I find one? Never. Did I have the money to pay for that new shop? Never. Because why? I spent all my money buying luxuries. I never had any savings. I would live on the day-to-day money that I would make. And just like that, my business ended up shutting down. That was quite a story to unpack from our good sis, but as she said, not all that glitters is gold. Work hard and what is truly yours will come to you. Remember to book for your makeup, and also I have makeup classes going on if you'd like to register for that. But from me to you, love you, bye.
So let's talk about it. I know that we talk about like love spells all the time, but spirituality and using herbs and everything to better your life is not always about finding love, because sometimes you can actually boost your business using the power of alchemy and spirituality and herbs and all that. So my thing is though, when it comes to that, because in all business you always have to be careful. It's not just spirituality. Things go wrong obviously if you don't know what you're doing, but in all business, there's always people who are good, and there are people who are doing it really because they love it and they know what they're doing. And of course, you got to get paid, because a lot of people like to assume, spiritual people should do their work for free and should give their work for free. Well, it doesn't work like that. You actually have to pay in order for it to be balanced. You cannot just ask someone to pull cards for you just because they read cards and they charge for their service, but you refuse to pay them. And I'm gonna get to what the point that I'm trying to make. But when someone in the spiritual world or do spiritual work for you, you have to pay, because it's a balance thing. So the spirit that they work with deserve to be paid, because if they don't get paid, then that's when things go bad for you. Not for them, but for you, because the spirit must get paid. Just like when you go to the bank and you need the bank to do something for you, they have to get paid. You go to Walmart, you buy something, they have to get paid, because at the end of the day, it's an even exchange. It's an energy exchange. But when it comes, just like any profession, any, things, there are people who will sell you a car that's a lemon, even though you trust this person, that that's their job, they still do things wrong. And there are people who have good hearts and they know what they're doing and they do the service the right way. But what I wanted to say was, in spirituality, you cannot trust anybody to do the work for you. So a lot of time you have to actually do the work for yourself and trust that you have the belief and the understanding and the knowledge in order to do the work the proper way by following the rules based on what is required. But when you go to someone to do the work for you, you never know what this person is actually putting into your work. So yes, the thing went crazy for her. It didn't work like she expected, because for one, she probably never got all the fine print. Just like when you're signing a contract for a phone, or you get your new phone and you're signing, you don't read the fine print. It's the same exact thing. So everything in life has the ability for something to go wrong. So even though I share stories where things go wrong in like love spells and or spiritual work that people get done, obviously sometimes things go bad, it's because in life there's always a risk. That's like going and getting surgery. There's a risk that things can go wrong. So just because it go bad in this particular particular work, doesn't mean it's because, it's the devil's work, because a lot of people love to blame the devil. I mean, the devil's got to be upset and mad and angry and just tired of everybody always blaming him for all the stuff that they do, right? But you got to understand too, it's just like any other work. There's always risk. But if you know how to do it, and it's easy enough to do it for yourself, which is usually when you get like spiritual work, or you learn about for example, or from my book, right? Money spell, right? You find a spell, usually they have step by step. Just because this person have been doing it for so long doesn't make them, yes, obviously they might have more experience than you, but doesn't mean that them doing the work for you is going to make it stronger. You could do it yourself. You could do it yourself where there's not going to be any risk. Well, obviously there's still going to be risk, but you're not going to put negativity in there, because you're doing the work for yourself and you know what all goes in the work. So therefore you don't have to hire someone all the time to do the work for you. Yes, you can buy the book to get the information that you need, but you could do the work yourself. So of course, sometimes things can go wrong, because a lot of time people who are in the spiritual world, just like pastors, they will, want you to continue to come to the church because they want to receive your offerings, which is going towards the pastor and like the building, right? But a lot of times the building really don't need any work done. If you're collecting money from me every single day, the building's still the same, furniture's still the same. You never even change the flowers, like the artificial flowers in the church. Where is this money going? To the pastor's pocket, you know? So sometimes, a lot of time, people in spiritual world will do things for you, and they will do it in a way where you will continue to keep coming, you know, to them because they want you to spend your money. And not everyone is like that. A lot of them are very honest, but you have to be able to use your discernment and pick the ones that you feel your energy is gravitating towards. You're not going just because this person say they're good, but this person have been going to them their entire life. Why you keep continuing to go to get some work done, to get money work done? Obviously, yes, you want more money to keep continuing to you. But if you're getting money work done, you should not be in the position that you were in last week or last month or last year, because just like spiritual work does not have a specific time. So whenever that work take effect, you should not have to keep continuing to pay this person for the same work, because it should at least work. You should at least start to see like the fruit of your labor, like the work is starting to show whatever the work that they did, if they actually did some work. But sometimes a lot of them will, you know, try to keep the customers, so therefore they'll do the work, but then they'll do something else to like combat the work. So therefore, like, you'll have good luck for a few days, but then afterwards, you know, your luck runs bad. Then you feel like you need to get more work done because you just got, you know, you had results, but you also had loss also, you know? So you actually have to either really trust that person or do the work yourself. Just because you run into like a lemon or someone who does the work, but they're like doing it selfishly, obviously they still got to get paid. But if you're doing it and then you're expecting, you know, things to go bad in my life for me to keep continuing to come back, doesn't mean the work didn't work. It just means that that person is greedy and they want more of your money. You know, so it's just like going to church and giving offerings. You keep continuing to go to church every Sunday, and they tell you to give offering every Sunday, and you're like, well, damn, when is it time for me to stop giving offering? You have to give offering like every Sunday. You feel like you have to always give offering. But, you know, the same thing when you buy a car that's a lemon, the person know that the car was not that great, but they sell it to you anyways. So, you know, I just already know, because I'm making these comments because I already know that in the comment section, there's always going to be this one person saying, oh, this is the reason why I don't trust this thing, because things always go bad. No, that's not the case. Things don't always go bad, you know, because I do my own work. So I do a lot of like prosperity work because I don't care about all the other stuff. Like I do shadow work, yes, if it's necessary. And I do like glamour spell on myself if I ever need it. Like I'm going for an interview, I'll do like, you know, something to sway the energy so they can hire me on the spot, which usually is the case. And one of those spells is actually in my book, so go ahead and cap a copy, take a copy, buy a copy. But my thing is, I do it myself. I find the time, I know when I'm supposed to do it, what I need to do, how I need to follow it, and I do it myself. I don't need to go to someone to pay them money when I have the same exact energy in me, where all you need is your voice and your intentions. Like if you feel something, like really, you know, because it's all about the feeling. Feeling is the secret. I don't know if you guys read about Dolores Cannon. I talk about her all the time. But feeling is really the secret to manifest the thing that you want. So if, for example, something happened and, you know, you want to do like a return to sender, or somebody hurt you and you want to do like, you're going to cry, you're going to feel the pain just like I did kind of thing. You want to do the work while you're still feeling this pain that this person did to you, right? Because then it's going to manifest stronger, because your energy is so built up where it's going to manifest even better. But if you wait until you are fit into that person's schedule, by then the feeling is not the same. And plus that person don't know how you felt. You have to do the work yourself, because you are the creator. You are the one who's going to make the thing yourself, you know, because at the end of the day, the person who you hire to do it, they have no connection to the thing that you're wanting, the work that you want done. Whenever, even when you want like money work done, right? You know how you feel when you go to sleep at night, you're laying there thinking about these bills. So when you do the money work, you sit there and you're focusing on all the things that you no longer want into your life. All that energy goes into the work. So it's best to do it yourself. And I get it, you know, people who don't feel comfortable will go to somebody else, but a lot of the time it's a lot better when you do it yourself, because the energy, you know how you feel, you know what you really want. That person will never feel what you feel for you, you know. So anyways, guys, I hope that all makes sense, and I hope you understand a little bit better. I share these stories not to scare you, but to how do you call this, educate you on some stuff that you might not know, you know. So anyways, talk to you guys later. Bye, mwah. Love you. Hey guys, I'm Jenny, and this is Shameless Plug. So I want to tell you guys about my Crown of Success manifestation book with easy, simple rituals and spells to manifest a life of abundance in your life. And those spells are so easy, even a child can do it. So this book is filled with different spells that I've learned over the years from my family, passed down from grandma and everything. And also those are spells that I've actually tried and I know that they work. So this book not only teach you step by step on the things that you can do that are so easy that a child can do it, but it tells you like the proper moon phase to use, alchemy, manifesting with numbers, numerology, and also the days of the week that best fit for this particular spell. So it tells you the timing of when to practice the spell, the days of the week, the moon phase. It shows you all the colors of the candles that you should be using and different planets. So for example, I show you like planet Jupiter is for Thursdays and the hours of the days that you should be doing the spell. So this is an easy road opener spell. So I know a lot of people like to do like different spell work, but if your roads are blocked, of course your spells are not going to work. So it's good to unblock yourself first and then start using the spell, especially with the new years and the new days to come. And also I have some amazing spells in here. This is a powerful quick money spell, so if you end up buying for some money and you're just trying to get some money. And I even have some easy, powerful spell to win Game of Chance. So if you are a gambler, now I don't promote gambling, but if you are a gambler and you're just trying to make some money and trying to make sure you win, these spells will definitely help you. It tells you the best days to do it. So it says the best days to perform this spell is on a Thursday, Jupiter day. Jupiter is the planet of good fortune, luck, and expansion. Jupiter is the best day to perform spells that boost luck and increase your chance of success in any game of chance or any money spell, period. It has a list of so many spells that you can incorporate in your life with this new year to bring prosperity. And I even put some bonus spells on here, which for Saturday is a day to do like protection work. So I have a spell for like send back to sender. So I put some bonus spells on here, and then a protection with Archangel Michael. So there's so many spells on here. Removing the evil eye spell, so you can remove evil eye in your money and also in your everyday life. New Year home blessing spell, and I know it's been a few days since the new year started, but you can always do a home blessing spell any days of the week. As long as you need it, you could do it. So anyways, guys, this is my book. It's called Crown of Success by Jenny, and it's available on Amazon, the ebook and also the physical copying. So please grab a copy if you're interested in supporting this channel. This is a way to support the channel and to support me as well for putting out, you know, content every day for you guys to enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book, and I hope you go and grab your copy, whether it's the ebook or the physical copy. I say have a physical copy, but it's really up to how much, you know, your wallet and what you can afford. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Mwah. This is a shameless plug, so just check out my channel, okay? Love you guys. Mwah.